were going viral. Last night, Raptors global ambassador and superfan Drake was excited during Game 4. He went crazy when Giannis airballed a free throw. Also was seen messaging Nick Nurse's shoulders, also massaging his shoulders. What do you think, Nick? About everything in life. Just talk.
I think Drake's embarrassing himself, and I think this is ridiculous. How many, to quote Miles Brown, how many famous people sit courtside and can just sit there and enjoy the game? Drake acts like he's at a damn fantasy camp. He just gets to roam the sideline. You get to help coach. You get to massage the coach's shoulders. Yeah. Calm down, kid from Degrassi. Relax, Drake.
Yeah, I'd love to be Drake.
Well, yeah.
I'd love to be doing that. Because I'm a fan. I like to be able to cheer and everything.
If I'm Drake, that's like the last thing on the list that I'd like to be doing. Out of all the things that you can like about Drake's life, that ain't the top of the list, bro.
I mean, I love sports and I love basketball. It would be a dream of mine, and it was able to come true. For about 15 years, I had season tickets to the Miami Heat. Like, I love basketball.
Did you harass Spoelstra?
I'm a little more famous than Drake.
Oh, yeah, I mean, come on. Beyonce,
I know how to handle myself.
Man, he's not even, Spike Lee didn't even do this type of stuff. Calm down, Drake.
You got a little Drake thing there.
I just think he's, I think he's phony. I just think he's phony.
He's just corny, that's
right. He's corny.
Corny?
Nobody even could question that he's corny. What? Say something. Say something else.
Boy, you got corny in spades.
Okay, fair enough. You know
now, your wife and kids are really cool.
Okay.
But Nick Wright,
this happens.
Come on, man. You're a box of cornflakes.
Okay. All right.
Back to Kevin Durant. Team doctors are waiting to see how he's responding to treatment for his calf strain.
I don't care if you live in Harlem, you corny bug.
KD missed the entire Western Conference Finals, which turned out to be just 4 games. Warriors owner Joe Lacob says KD will be coming back for the finals, which starts next Thursday. That'll be 3 weeks that he'll have missed. Vinny, do the Warriors need KD to win a title?
If they play the Milwaukee Bucks, yes. If they play the Toronto Raptors, maybe not so much. Like, I think with the Bucks, Giannis being virtually 7 feet tall and unguardable, I don't think Draymond Green can do anything with him. Not to get into the minutia of basketball and everything else, but I think Milwaukee presents a much tougher matchup than Portland would have presented for Golden State, where it was basically the perfect matchup for Golden State to not have Kevin Durant. And that's not like the best of Western Conference vintage that Golden State would have played over the past 3 or 4 years in the Western Conference Finals. So don't get it twisted that all of a sudden they don't need this guy at all. Milwaukee's a really, really good team. 60 wins. They can come at you in spades with different types of players who can dribble, pass, and shoot. So I think they're going to have a tough time even with Kevin Durant. Without Kevin Durant, they may not have a shot at winning.
Now, Toronto's got to be able to get through Milwaukee. But I had said this last week, both teams from the East were better than anything that they would face in the West. That being if it was Portland and if it was Denver. I just believe overall, if you look at their top 10 players, how the teams are coached and style for which they play at, I believe that the Warriors are a little more afraid of the physicality of how Milwaukee plays and Toronto compared. That West is up and down. Denver ain't got no defense, and we saw Portland. I mean, as much as they had the lead, when they needed to be able to get a stop, they could not get a stop. So both the teams are a better matchup against Golden State, and I just believe from an offensive standpoint, because they have some lineups that when you look at Golden State, you're like, okay, who's going to score right now? If Steph has the ball, I'm getting ready to trap him, and I dare one of those other guys to be able to score. And there's about 8 to 10 minutes in a game where Clay can do, and the problems presented for the opposition, I believe, are more than even though this style when he's not there.
So here's the weird thing about when they get Kevin Durant back. You add a player, you add a superstar player, a player that some people believe is the best player in basketball, but it doesn't actually add to your depth. Because your bench players, we have seen, those strength in numbers guys, play better in the system without him than the system with him. The ball movement, screens, cutting, ball popping around, playing 11 guys in the first 14 minutes of games the way Steve Kerr has. The Jordan Bell, Alfonso McKinney, Quinn Cooks of the world, they have to play more when KD's out there, but they also play better when they have to play more when KD's not out there, pardon me. They also play better when KD's not out there, and I think you keyed on it earlier, see. Those guys get to touch the ball and take shots when KD's out, so they are more engaged on defense. They are more locked in offensively. I want to ask you a question, though, about Joe Lacob on this, though. Do you not find it odd that, A, he's giving medical updates, and B, The narrative I've heard my whole life watching sports is when a player goes down, everyone says, you know what? We want to have him back. We'd love to have him back, but we can win without him. We believe in this team without him. We have seen teams in the NBA Finals. The Cavs, when Kevin Love wasn't out there, and then when Kyrie wasn't out there. You know what? Delhi's next man up. We believe in him. To me, this feels like a recruitment of Kevin Durant, right?
Absolutely.
That saying, hey, we got to have him to win a championship, when I think they would like to have him to win a championship. I don't think there is a person in that locker room that believes, oh, we can't beat Milwaukee without him. Not since they're not just have swept Portland without him. They beat Houston in Game 6 in Houston without him, and that has been the toughest competition in the Western Conference.
But in almost every game of the Western Conference Finals, they were trailing by double digits, right? Do you think that could be a reason why they need Kevin Durant out there?
No, I put it like this. Once again, it goes back to Portland being the perfect opponent, because their best two players are 6'3" and under. You're not going to have that in the next series you play, where Giannis or Kawhi Leonard in depth at the front court positions is much more plentiful than Portland, who was without Nurkic, who Cantor was out, and that could have been exploited had Portland been better situated. And also, here's the thing with this. The number one thing that Kevin Durant can do is get you a bucket. You're talking about the minutes on the fringes. End of the second quarter, end of the third quarter, where the lead can go from 5 to 10. I'm talking about the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game where the defense tightens up and you need someone to get you a bucket. That's Kevin Durant. Sometimes that is Stephen Curry, but a lot of times the variance on that is pretty wide. And every series, this is the first series that Stephen Curry has had since 2015 where he did not have a weird Steph Curry game where he shoots 1 of 15 or something like that and he completely disappears. Kevin Durant completely takes that away. That when
Steph has played amazing. But to Jenna's point, as far as being down 17, 17, and 18 in 3 of the 4 of the games, Kevin Durant stops a lot of that. Why? Because everything Steve Kerr in those moments was not working. Kevin Durant, there is no answer for him. Man, go get me a bucket to stop their run. So sometimes, yeah, it's at the end of a quarter, but a lot of time when the other team is running out, the best solution is someone make the ball go through the hole to be able to stop them, because you can't fast break with the ball coming through the net. So Kevin Durant is an answer to a lot of that right there. The reason why they were behind, because they were trying to be able to find some offense. I don't see them winning without Kevin Durant.
But I do think the Warriors' super high level of success over this, particularly since Durant's gotten there, has warped our perspective to a degree, which is if they don't seem unbeatable, we then decide, oh, they're very beatable. And so now I'm the wrong person to ask about this, because I think Milwaukee's going to beat them either way. But with Kevin Durant to most of the basketball world, they seem invulnerable. They're a 95% chance to win. Without him, they go to what? They'll still be the Vegas favorites.
Yes.
What, a 60% chance to win? And all of a sudden, if a team's got, like the Rockets did last year, a coin flip chance to beat the Warriors, it feels like they're the favorites, because everyone else has felt like they had no chance to beat the Warriors. So what Barkley and a lot of people were saying right when Kevin Durant went down, if he doesn't come back, they're finished. Man, he played in 10 playoff games this year. They were 6-4. He hasn't played in the last 5. They're 5-0. So all those runs he can stop, all those things he can do. They still lost 2 games to the Clippers with him, 2 games to the Rockets with him, and have not lost since he went down.
Stick around. We want to set the table in the Eastern Conference. Can the Raptors go to the finals with a hobbled Kawhi? That's next on First Things First.
And set Nick straight on the point guard list.
Oh, and that